هاي الدوامنة صاروا بقصر الجمهورية يا بشار الكلب. ادخل قصر الجمهوري.
Syrian rebels entered the capital, Damascus, encountering no signs of military deployment. President Bashar al-Assad reportedly left Damascus aboard a plane, heading to an undisclosed location. After seizing control of the strategic city of Homs, Syrian rebels advanced toward the capital, Damascus, and began entering the city on Sunday. Soldiers of the Syrian Arab Army defected en masse, with them taking off their uniforms and putting in civilian clothes. According to two high-ranking Syrian military officers who spoke to Reuters, President Bashar al-Assad left Damascus. It is reported that Assad used an aircraft to leave the capital on Sunday, heading to an unknown destination. Preliminary information suggests that Assad may have been aboard a Russian Il-76T aircraft. Meanwhile, according to the Flight Radar Service, an Il-76T disappeared from radar in Syria on Sunday for unknown reasons, possibly near Al-Suwaira. The General Staff of the Syrian Arab Army has reportedly informed its soldiers about the fall of President Assad's regime and ordered them to lay down their weapons. A Syrian officer told Reuters that the Syrian Arab Army Command informed its officers that Bashar al-Assad's rule has ended following the rapid advance of the rebels. Satellite imagery confirms the Russian Navy has abandoned Tartus. The Russian fleet in Tartus received orders to abandon the naval port. They are leaving. This is how fast red lines are getting buried, no matter if they are in the Syrian desert or Ukraine's Donbass. When it is over, then it is over, and Russians leave. Russian access to the Syrian naval base at Tartus and the airfield at Latakia was a major strategic benefit to Russia. They are the two key facilities to project Russian power into the Mediterranean. Without them, Russia is much weaker. And these bases are crucial for Russian operations in Africa also. Now, everything will be harder regarding the Russian logistic, not to mention the political effect for the master strategist Putin. December 2017, exactly 7 years ago, Putin flew to Syria and stated, "If the terrorists raise their heads again, we will strike them from the Russian bases in Syria in a way that they have not yet seen." Today, the Russian army is evacuating from Tartus and Shmeimim and fleeing Syria.
Здесь созданы и на постоянной основе будут действовать два пункта базирования в Тартусе и здесь в Мимиме. И если террористы вновь поднимут голову, то мы нанесем им такие удары, которых они пока и не видели.
Syrian rebels escorting out the Syrian Prime Minister Mohammed Ghazi al-Jalali. He was hiding in the Four Seasons Hotel. Syrian rebels have declared the success of the revolution. Opposition representatives added that they promised to turn the country into a democratic state, respect property rights, preserve the territorial integrity and sovereignty of Syria, and hold Assad's regime accountable. This was reported in a Telegram channel by the Military Operations Command of the rebel forces. People in Damascus are in the streets and celebrating the end of the Assad regime. It is important to note that the rapid advance of rebel groups in Syria began about a week and a half ago. They were able to quickly capture key cities such as Aleppo, Hama, and others. Assad's palace is exactly the pompous monstrosity in marble which we expected, while the rest of the country primarily lived with $1 a day. At a time when the majority of the population in Assad militia areas is suffering from hunger, poverty, and the loss of the basic necessities of life, information issued by foreign sources has revealed the extent of the enormous wealth of Bashar al-Assad and his family. The Saudi newspaper El-Av revealed in a report the size of Bashar al-Assad's enormous wealth, as it quoted a British source as saying that al-Assad's wealth, according to an estimate by the British intelligence service MI6, amounts to 200 tons of gold, $16 billion and 5 billion euros. Calculating the aforementioned wealth of Assad against the dollar, it is approximately equal to 34 billion US dollars, which is equivalent to Syria's entire budget for 7 years, compared to Syria's budget for the year 2023, which was equivalent to $5.4 billion, according to the official exchange rate set by the central bank of the Assad regime. Everywhere people celebrate, even in the Christian neighborhoods. This is Sana'a, Damascus. As rebel forces advanced in northern Syria, concerns have been raised over the fate of ethnic and religious minorities living in the newly captured territories. Leading the advance is Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, a former al-Qaeda affiliate previously known as the Nusra Front that has sought to promote a more moderate branding in recent years. A commander from Ahrar al-Sham, another ultra-conservative rebel group, made a speech specifically calling for unity and the protection of Christians and Armenians. People in Arwad, Tartus region, toppling a Hafez Asad statue. However, genuine changes in attitude remain to be seen long-term, according to British Syrian writer and activist Layla al-Shami. People are going to be worried about an organization that uses extremist Islamist language and frameworks, and what that means to them long-term over governance, she told Middle East Eye. Liberated prisoners from Sednaya, absolutely traumatized people.
شو اسمك شو عم حكاية لا تخاف شو اسمك أنت
خلي اهلك يجي ياخذوك مشان ننشرك على التلفون
يا اخي
اسمك
انت
مشان يعرفوك قول
انت من وين انت اخي؟
من وين انت؟
لا حول ولا
من
قوة
حمص؟
إلا بالله العلي العظيم.
من حمص؟ ايه شو اسمك؟ شو اسمك؟
Incredible scenes from Sednaya. It shows entire families incarcerated. They cannot believe what is happening. Rebels had freed prisoners from Damascus's notorious Sednaya prison, regarded as a symbol of the Assad regime's brutality. Under Bashar al-Assad's regime, Syria's prisons have become infamous for their brutality and as symbols of systemic repression. Facilities like Sednaya prison, often called a human slaughterhouse, epitomize the horrors. Amnesty International estimates tens of thousands of detainees have faced extrajudicial executions, torture, and starvation there since the civil war began in 2011. These prisons house political opponents, activists, journalists, and ordinary citizens swept up in mass arrests. Survivors speak of extreme overcrowding, where inmates are packed so tightly they sleep standing, enduring beatings, electrocutions, and psychological abuse. Many never make it out alive. Now even at Syria's main coastal city, protests against Assad have broken out. People in the Al-Rami neighborhood in Latakia on the streets.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Rescues every day. We had a guy last week, it's 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.